Welcome back to the Closing Laps podcast. I'm Matt from Breakard. This is former NASCAR crew member Cam. How are you doing, Cam?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Well, I just got back from Chicago, as did you, on Saturday. I am sunburnt, I am tired, and my knees are sore because I did not wear the right shoes on Saturday.
No, you did not.
For the amount of walking. Rookie mistake. And honestly, I went for fashion over function, and that was stupid. I should have saved that for Sunday. Instead, Nike Killshot 2s, great shoe. Not the best for doing about 9 miles of walking that I did on Saturday.
Yeah, after I left you after the race, I literally walked all the way around the whole fountain.
Yeah. Oh, you went back to the hauler lot and everything too?
I went back to the haulers, and my buddy went the other way because he was coming up to pit road to meet me, I couldn't get a hold of him. So I went onto the track, walked the track to pit road, and then we had to walk all the way to turn 12 to go all the way that way to get back to the car.
It is, for everybody that hasn't been to Chicago to see the layout, if you're a team member, I get why they don't love Chicago, because where the haulers are parked is on Lakeshore Drive, which is along Lake Michigan. Where pit road is at is not along Lake Michigan at all. So anytime you have to run apart from the hauler to pit road, you are running a solid mile probably, and you have to go up and over a pedestrian bridge to get back down to pit road. It is an extensive walk, and they moved the where the cup haulers parked at this year as well, which created for a bit of a log jam as everybody was trying to exit the racetrack on Saturday and Sunday as well. It was, you saw it on Saturday.
That was so dumb.
It was so much worse on Sunday.
Was it?
Oh my God.
Why they didn't have the cars go down turn 1 to turn 2 and go that way?
It's baffling to me. So I realized what happened because last year, this doesn't matter to anybody that hasn't been there, but cup haulers were parked down where you basically come into the track through the first security checkpoint. So they pushed them out through the garage area last year, which is along the museum, and then across. So you still had to push it across people, but not the mass of people that was trying to come out of the racetrack park at the same time. And it created kind of a cool moment last night because it was just a mob of people creating like this, Moses parting the seas type of thing for the cars to be pushed through, which is kind of cool. And everybody was cheering certain cars coming through. Bubba Wallace got resoundingly booed as he was getting pushed through. His poor crew members literally riding on the side of the wrecker as they're trying to push the car through. And he's just like, I just want to do my job and put this back in the hauler. Like, I don't need this right now. It was a long day for them. But let's get started here. 4 to go. NASCAR Cup Series race in Chicago. Once again, won by Shane Van Gisbergen. Second win in 3 years at that racetrack. And who knows? He probably could have gone 3 for 3 if he doesn't get taken out by Chase Briscoe last year.
Should have gone 3 for 3.
Yeah. It was another, I can't say dominating performance because he didn't lead the most laps on Sunday. The car that did lead the most laps, Michael McDowell, went out early with a throttle issue, and that was kind of the turning point of the race for me, where it was like, it took out his main competitor.
Yeah, for sure. I was when that happened, my heart just went, like crap, right?
Yeah.
Because he was dominating, and I went into it. I was like, okay, we talked about it last week. I said I thought Michael McDowell was going to have a great day.
Yep.
And went into it. I was like, okay, Michael McDowell starting second. He's probably going to go into turn 1 in second and then have to catch SVG. And it was the complete opposite.
It was.
He went into turn 1 as first, and SVG was chasing him and couldn't catch him.
So I thought it was kind of the toying idea that we had with, I thought that's what I had at first. And then the more I watched him as the laps ticked by, because I stood down in turn 1 where we were at on Saturday as well. Yeah. And the more I watched it, I was like, oh, McDowell has got the pace here. It did feel like at times he was having to overdrive the car in a sense. And it felt like Shane wasn't really having to push it to that 100% mark as much. But McDowell was still pulling away from him at times. Yeah. So when he went out, I was like, this kind of changes the entire race now.
Yeah, that one hurt. I would have loved to see with a late race caution how that would have come to play with both of them going at it. it would have been very cool to see, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And McDowell wasn't willing to flip stages, so he was going for stage points as well on Saturday because he went on to win stage number 1. That's when disaster struck for him. But before disaster struck for Michael McDowell, we had Carson Hocevar on like lap 3 of the race, clipped the inside wall, leaving the circle, smashes the outside wall. Like, that's a 10,000-pound block, like Steve Letarte said, and he buckled it.
It moved like it was butter.
It was wild how hard he hit that.
He smacked it. Like, I'm surprised I hope he's okay. That's how hard he hit.
It was one of those hits. So, like, obviously where we were at, it was hard to see. I could see it on the monitor of the 88 pit box, but it was one of those ones where my dad texted me and was like, I hope he's okay. And I was like, what happened? Like, how bad was it? And then you see the replay of it, and it's like, oh, wow, he's annihilated that wall.
Yeah. The wall moved a good, I'd probably say foot and a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is insane.
Big time impact for Hocevar. So his race is done. Austin Dillon called him the biggest dumbass in NASCAR because of it, clipping the inside wall and then hitting the outside wall like that.
Austin Dillon, has never made any mistakes whatsoever.
No, Richmond 2024 has never happened before.
Never.
And he didn't run through Eric Almirola to win a Daytona 500. Stuff like that has never happened.
No, that's never happened.
Not at all. So there was an 8-car pileup that ensued because of that. Took out Brad Keselowski, Todd Gilliland, Will Brown, who I think despises coming over to America now because...
What is that, the third time he's gotten wrecked?
I think it's the second time. I think it was only a second start because last year at the Sonoma race, he tried to drive the 33 car for RCR and just had nothing but electrical issues.
Yeah.
And then this week has okay speed and then just gets taken out super early, and he was done from there, which is a bummer for him. One of the big talking points of the day was NASCAR's willingness to hold the caution, which we'll talk about at the end of the race recap here. But there are a number of incidents on track where they didn't throw a caution in places where maybe they have or did before. Yeah. Go ahead.
So along that lines, I mean, I feel like at road courses, it's always held a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's certain times where it's not, but it's always held a little bit at road courses. Should it be? That's neither here nor there. And I mean, we'll talk about it obviously a little bit in a minute. But, like, there were a couple instances where I was like, all right, are we going to throw it? Or are we going to go? Are we going to throw it? Or are we going to go?
And for a majority of them, we just kept going because the only ones that got caution was the 21 stopped on track, the 2 car stopped on track, and then ultimately, finally, the 51 of Cody Ware buried in the tires, and that took a minute, which, again, we'll get to that in a second. So there were a number of not single car spins sometimes, but, guys getting helped around. Catherine Legg spun out in turn 1, drove back to pit exit, then did a 3-point turn and continued on. And I recorded all of it, and it took like 22 seconds. No caution was thrown for that. And baffled by that, but hey, top 20 finish for her. So congrats to that 78 team.
I don't remember who it was. It might have been Saturday, but I think it was Sunday when I was watching it. I think it was either the 21 or the 2 literally stopped on track twice, back to back, and they just didn't throw anything.
The 2 stopped on track, and it pissed me off.
It baffled me.
Yeah.
I was like, there's literally a car just sitting on the track. What are we doing?
When the 2 drew the caution in stage number 3?
2, wasn't it? Was it 3?
Yeah, stage number 3.
Yeah.
Lap 65. The 2 stopped on track in between turns 6 and 7. And over the radio, they told him to stop on track and let the leaders go by. What? No, like, you will just move out of the way of the leaders as you're going. But because he stopped on track, the NASCAR has to throw a caution because I was standing there because where we're at in turn 1, you can see that straightaway area. Yeah. And I'm like, 2's just sitting. Finally, the caution comes out, and as soon as the caution comes out, he rolls like he's Carson Hocevar. And they throw the caution, and it's like, this was all for nothing here. Yeah. That was one of the more annoying parts. But, like, Stenhouse got spun. Bubba Wallace spun like 4 times in this race. Never once drew a caution.
No.
Josh Berry in the tires.
Spinhouse spinning and wrecking and saying screw it, just getting off the track was very smart on his part, right? Like Wrecky Spinhouse did something smart, like,
and it wasn't even his fault. He didn't even cause the wreck, but just got annihilated because people thought he caused the wreck, which is bad. Ross just drove through the 22 of Logano, even though Joey didn't do anything at all.
No.
Joey went all 50 Cent. What did he mad at me for? Like that type of thing, because it didn't make any sense. Yeah. That's really what he looked like. I don't know if you saw the post-race interaction between the two of them. He just had this befuddled look on his face. And then you had Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace just absolutely trading paint, as they like to say.
Yeah.
And none of it was like, everybody's freaking out about it on the internet because, of course, Bubba Wallace is involved, so we have to
freak out about
the fan base has to freak out. None of it was that egregious. Like,
not terrible. I mean, I wouldn't say it's terrible.
Yeah. Bubba put the 48 into the wall, and then he cleared himself off of turn 2. The 48 was there, and puts the 23 into the wall because, well, he was there. Then the 23 spinning out, and the 48 just gave him that last tap to send him the rest of the way around, and it's racing. It's not that big of a deal. I was dumbfounded by the amount of people that were freaking out about it after the race. Their interaction, though, was, I don't think, a genuine I think we're both over it type of thing.
No, I don't think that's the end of it by any means. No. Because neither one of them want to bow down to either one of the other ones, right? So I don't think we're gonna be I think we could be going into Sonoma next week and then this happening again.
Yeah, I think there's all chance of that. I mean, these two guys have not seen eye to eye since Bubba was in the 43 and he threw that bottle of water in Bowman's face at the Roval, I believe. Yeah. Then, of course, they had the run-in last year. Now they have it again this year. And people were like, oh, maybe Bubba was racing that hard because of the in-season tournament because the two were going head-to-head. Listen, he gave up 19 points by racing like an idiot there at the end. If he was prioritizing the in-season tournament over the points, which the points will end up paying way more than that in-season tournament does, that was a really short-sighted, move on his part, if that's what he was in fact trying to do. Or if he was just pissed off because it was Alex Bowman, then I get it. Like, hey, hold a grudge. Yeah.
I mean, nah.
Yeah. I respect a good grudge. Oh, no. Cam lost his light. Oh, and we're back.
My screen just went black.
Oh.
All right.
Good to go.
Interesting. All right. We're
very
back.
Odd. And
that
then
was very weird.
At the end of the race, 2 to go. Well, 1.5 laps to go, realistically, because it happened in turn 6. Cody Ware running in the top 20 at that point, like 18th, I think.
Yeah. Literally, so right before that happened, I was talking to someone, or I was talking to my buddy that I was there at the race with on Saturday. Yeah. And I was like, I was like, Cody Ware's like top 15.
Yeah.
What is going on? And then you look down, it's like, there's Catherine. And you look down, it's like all the bad cars were running in the top 20. And it's like, all right.
It was literally like a super speedway race that takes out all the good cars at the front, and then you're left with like these randoms, and you're like, oh, hey, top 10 for Cody Ware today at Daytona. It's like, nobody else is around. And not to discredit Cody, because he is a road racer by trade, essentially.
Yeah, for sure.
First time ever at the track. Good run for him, but he goes down the back. I can't really call it the backstretch. He goes down the straightaway into turn 6, blows the right front rotor, like just boom.
Dude, that thing
shattered, and proceeded to just pile drive into that tire barrier at the end of turn 6 that Noah Gragson got so comfortable with a couple years ago, and buried himself in the tires. The fan video that you and I talked about, I'm sure everybody's seen at this point.
It's wild.
Part of it is a bit of an optics, just because you see the other cars are slowed down going through the corner in the background, and he just goes right by. But he still went in there at probably about 100 mile an hour and destroyed it.
From the in-car camera, I think it says like 89 or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think.
Regardless, it was still a big time impact. And then NASCAR holds the caution for 34.7 seconds, according to Jeff Gluck, before they finally throw it. And when they reached out to NASCAR for comment about it, they said, oh, well, the caution had to come out because the driver put the window net down and proceeded to get out of the car. My whole thing is, Cody Ware shouldn't have to make you throw the caution. The caution already should have been out for the incident.
Yeah, because when it happened, the leaders were going into turn 10 or 11.
Yeah,
right?
They're about half a track ahead of him.
Yeah, they're about half a track ahead, so they're going into turn 10, 11, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna get through turn 11, and then they're gonna throw the caution, and we're gonna do this again.
Yeah,
and it never came.
Never came, and I was standing there waiting for it to happen because I heard him hit the tire barriers. I could see the smoke because it was on the other side of the wall from us. And right across from us is the turn 1 marshal stand.
Yeah.
For them to wave the flag. And I was waiting for that yellow flag to come out of the fence and then start waving it. Never happened. I saw SVG go by and I was like, well, this race is done now. And then finally, it wasn't until Kyle Busch went by, and that was what, P5, I think? Yeah, P5 before the caution finally came out.
Which, the fact that he got back up to P5 is wild.
It's crazy. Great run by the 8 car. That might be the driver of the day. No, I have a different driver of the day, but heck of a comeback for Kyle.
Yeah.
So NASCAR holds the caution there. SVG goes on to win under the caution, and I don't have a problem with a driver winning under caution. I know some people are like, I want a guaranteed green flag finish. Maybe I'm just old at this point and remember a time when...
You said it, not me.
Yeah. And remember a time when we didn't have green-white checkers and things did just end at race distance. But the best car on Sunday won. The best running car at the end of that race won. And that's what it was. Reddick was on fresher tires. Maybe he ends up getting around him. Ty Gibbs, desperate for that first win. Maybe he moves the 88 if there's a restart, but...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, definitely the best car won. Did Ty get second or did Reddick?
Ty did.
Ty got second? I thought Reddick did.
No, Reddick never was able to get around him.
Oh, I don't know why I thought he did. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he wasn't able to.
Yeah.
I don't know why for some reason I thought the 45 got around him.
Then you got Denny Hamlin coming in P4. 40th to 4th for Hamlin. Just a quiet, steady day for that 11 team.
Literally. I mean, good for him.
Great for him.
Someone who's not really known as a road course racer either.
No. I believe he was a Chicago pole winner last year, though.
He did. He did win the pole last year.
Making sure I wasn't losing my mind there.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure.
Let's go back to previous at this track and racing reference. And I will tell you who the pole sitter was. And it was, in fact, Kyle Larson.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, I don't remember that.
Maybe, what was it?
2023.
Denny
won it the first year.
Yes.
Okay.
I knew I wasn't. See, we're not losing our minds.
Yeah, well,
not yet.
I mean, I played college football. CT is real.
We'll worry about that in about 20 years. You're fine.
Yeah, it's
fine for now. So, top 10, AJ Allmendinger P6, Ryan Preece becoming a road racer. It had to be a frustrating day for Preece. Starts 7th, finishes 7th. All the other chaos around him, and he just comes home right exactly where he started.
Boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Alex Bowman P8, Austin Hill first ever top 10 in 12 starts in the Cup Series P9, and Ross Chastain.
That's wild that he got a top 10.
It is, because if you would have told me in practice he was going to get a top 10, I would have laughed in your face, because that car was not getting around the track as well as half the other field.
No. I mean, we talked about it on Saturday. We were like, why is he doing this race? Like, there's no reason for him to be doing this race.
Sponsors.
Yeah. Oh, 100% it's sponsors, but you know, he's a top 10 prospect. You know this. Come on.
A 32-year-old top 10 prospect. Imagine telling somebody that, like, oh, this is a top 10 baseball prospect. How old is he? 32.
32. What?
Yeah.
He's been in AAA his whole career.
He's never once put any effort into conditioning that I can tell, at least. Speaking of Austin Hill in the Xfinity race, did you see the photo of him flipping off Daniel Dye after their little run-in? Yeah, it was, whoever took that picture, just absolute art
Yeah.
Through mid corner,
Just
21, hand out the window, just flipping Daniel die off.
poor
just-
die. Poor Daniel.
I thought Daniel handled it great last week, and then I'm sure he just laughed at it again this week. It's not that serious.
There's nothing
but-
else you can do.
No.
Just laugh at it.
Surprising top 20 finishers, Catherine Legg, P19. I think that's probably the biggest shock. Riley Herbst, P17. Good for him.
Yeah.
The rest of it, though, just brutal day for McDowell. Points-wise, that's really where things have taken
Where's
a
the line
slight
now?
+2.
It's down to +2.
Yes. Bubba Wallace +2 over Ryan Preece. And then Allmendinger is 43 back. Kyle Busch is 46, and Eric Jones is 50 back.
I know we've talked about this before, but the fact that I have to go to on3 to find the playoff standings,
It's the most frustrating thing out there.
it's annoying.
I had to go to the Hendrick Motorsports race recap yesterday to find it. It's infuriating.
That's annoying.
So overall, I thought that this was a really good race for the most part. No rain for once, shockingly. Took my rain jacket, even took it to the track this year, and didn't have to use it. So maybe that's the curse breaker. If I actually take it into the racetrack.
We talked about it on Saturday. It's all your fault, right?
Dude,
Like,
we could have used some rain on Saturday.
oh, dude, it would have been awesome.
Anything to help with that.
Anything on Saturday
It was.
would have been awesome.
We'll move into 3 to go for the Xfinity Series race at Chicago. It was the hottest races I've ever been to. Have definitely been Kentucky races, second week in July, when they always traditionally happen.
Yep.
There's no hotter garage area in the sport than that Kentucky garage area.
Really? See, I've never been.
Count yourself as lucky. Chicago on Saturday gave it a run for its money. It
was
was 94 degrees. Humidity probably had to be above 70 for sure. Heat index was like 104.
Yeah.
Just an absolutely brutal day at the racetrack. Got sunburnt and sweaty.
Yeah, especially after a long 4th of July, too.
Yes. yeah. Spent all day outside on Friday for 4th of July, also in the same
Yeah.
heat.
Not
They go
drinking
there.
water.
Yeah. It didn't matter how much water you drank on Saturday.
No.
I think we all had probably 6-7 bottles of water or
Yeah,
cans.
no, I'm talking about Friday. I didn't drink any water on Friday.
yeah, you didn't drink
so
any
it
water
didn't
on
make any Saturday any better.
No, not at all. But even on Saturday, didn't matter how much water you drank. You never had to go to the bathroom.
No,
No.
never.
I'm trying to think if I even went on Saturday.
I think I went once.
Maybe I went once, but
Yeah.
it was not a great one. It wasn't great. If you had
No.
the chart up, like we had to drink more water. It was.
Don't forget. Don't bring the chart up. That chart did nothing.
I knew you would understand the chart. It was bad. It was a hot race.
It was.
You got there probably around noon?
Right at about 12:30.
12, yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Race started at 3:30 local time, I believe. I was out there from basically 9 o'clock on. Rough day at the racetrack, but we were treated to
A decent race.
a decent race, one that could have been a lot more compelling at the finish. Shane Van Gisbergen obviously goes on to win.
Yeah.
So he ended up winning 4 out of the 6 races at Chicago, 4 of the 5 that he actually entered so far, if we don't come back, which is a wild stat to begin with. Wins the race, but it wasn't without a little bit of contact and a caution that helped him kind of seal that deal. And I think you and I both agree, we wish it would have gone green at the end.
Dude, we were sitting there and I was like, okay, when he went from 3.5 seconds back to 2.4, and we were both like, oh crap.
Yeah. He was flying there at the end.
He was flying. It was like he said, yeah, okay, you think you have a chance, and I'm coming.
He was on slightly fresher tires as well.
Slightly, yeah. But it was, I'm coming, you're not going to have a chance, and I'm going to get to you and blow right by you.
And that's what he kind of did on the ensuing restart.
I mean,
But
I would have. We talked about. I would have loved to see how long it took him to get there.
I don't think it was going to be that long. So the caution came out with
What, 5 to go?
5 to go. Yeah, it came out on lap 46.
Yeah.
And that was when the 35 of Andre Castro went into the wall. They had to throw the caution, turn 6, once again, down on the tire barrier. Had to throw a caution for that.
Yeah.
Ends up setting up a green-white checker finish, which saw Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilisch make some slight contact there on the restart.
Went wide. SVG went wide.
SVG. So that's one thing I've learned about SVG is he's not going to like dump somebody or intentionally kind of wreck them, but he will Max Verstappen them and kind of run them wide and use up all the racetrack and make them back out of it.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen multiple times. Zilisch, not happy with it after the race. Zilisch comes home in second. Got out afterwards, and this was, I don't think I talked to you about this, but at the track, we heard the MRN broadcast.
Yeah.
And Zilisch on the MRN broadcast said, he stuffed me in the wall. I'll remember that for next time, like how he raced me in the future.
Yeah.
So I tweeted that out from the track. Put my phone away because we were in that scrum of people trying to get out of there. Get back to the hotel. Put my phone out, and all these people are in my replies being like, so you're just lying? You're just making things up now? He never said anything like that. And I was like, I don't know,
definitely
dude. Like,
said that.
That's what he said at the racetrack.
He's just 100% what he said.
Yeah, then I realized that, he said something completely different on his TV interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, clear disconnect there. But, man, people were coming. The Connor Zilisch fanboys they might rival Chase Elliott in a couple years. There are people that are riding for Connor Zilisch.
Yeah.
And
it's the same with SVG.
See, they're a lot more chill.
They're chill, but they're riding.
Yeah, there's some riders out there.
Like you could tell, like when we went to the race on Saturday when they were doing driver intros, SVG came out and I was like, "Is Junior here?"
Dude, when he took the lead on Sunday, he went by and the whole grandstand cheered him. Like he's Chicago's favorite son at this point.
Yeah. He wants to keep going back. He might as well just buy a house there.
Yeah. Said he hates cities, so he's ready to leave Chicago. And I was like, buddy, you might just
love you.
Yeah, they love you here.
I mean, I can't blame them. All my bosses and stuff live in Chicago, and I texted them on the way home. I said, this place sucks. They did not like me after that, but...
So I enjoyed our times in Chicago for the two part. I will say that the traffic situation is slightly unbearable at times, for sure.
The smells are a little unbearable.
Depending on where you're at, yes, they can be bad. Food's good. I did get solicited inside a Garrett Popcorn on Saturday, which had never in the store. Never had that happen before. I was like, I just want to buy some popcorn. Also, I had my girlfriend with me too, so this is an awkward situation. Yeah, she was not a fan. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the time in Chicago. If it does come to an end, which is, our next topic actually, because that's how we segue here with 2 to go. If that was our last Chicago race, I'm content with it, but I'm gonna miss it.
I'm not.
I know. I figured you wouldn't miss it from a racing standpoint or from a crew standpoint or both.
Crew standpoint, I'm not gonna miss it.
No.
Racing standpoint, I could do without it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I hate backward stops for one. So that just screws it out of there right there. And then, like, for the racing aspect, the racing's good, but it's not like it's wow, out of this world, right? So that's why I'm like, I want to see something different. And something at a different city with a different layout, and let's see what we can do.
So I have this. So backtrack real quick. The city of Chicago, NASCAR has a 2-year option on this race. So they can extend till 2026 and 2027 if they so choose.
NASCAR can.
NASCAR can, yes. And they have to come to an agreement with the city within 90 days
Yeah.
of this event happening, I believe is what the contract says. So there is still a chance that it does continue on.
Yeah.
The Chicago Sun-Times and the Chicago Tribune both talked this weekend about the mayor, Brandon Johnson, who inherited this race, did not want this race in 2023 when it happened the first time, warmed up to it a little bit in 2024. The race brought in like $168 million in revenue last year. This year, he's walking down pit road in a NASCAR Chicago street race fire suit, fired up about it.
Was he really?
Oh, yeah. I took some video of it. He was happy as hell to be out there. His office said that the mayor would be open to possibly extending this deal with the options if NASCAR could move it to a different weekend, which I actually am in favor of that,
yes.
Just because you saw it as well. It's not that it disrupts the traffic around that area, because that loop area is not a high residential area for the most part. It's very commercialized. It's a lot of hotels.
Yeah.
So you're not disrupting a ton of traffic. It's the emergency services. The police are stretched super thin because it's a holiday weekend. Same with fire and EMS. And I saw so many police officers out throughout the weekend, not even just at the racetrack, just even walking there's one on every corner, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it's Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but like a normal weekend in Chicago doesn't have that. But then you throw a holiday weekend with a major event on it, and like everybody has to work overtime. Nobody gets any time off. Like, I completely understand that. So, hey, if they want to move it to a different weekend, maybe it works.
I want to change the layout.
Where do you want to go?
No, I just want it different.
Oh, okay.
I just want to change the track. That's the beauty of the street course. You can.
What if we just did, as Denny Hamlin wanted to do, a
Square.
road oval? Yeah, you can do that in Grant Park. You can absolutely do that right there.
Yeah.
Come up over the bridges, down onto Michigan, and then just run down the original front stretch that we currently have. Just two heavy braking zones at each end.
I like it.
It would be so chaotic, but you could build a lot of good grandstands there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought of that.
I don't mind. It's not a problem with going to Chicago. The crews hate it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But that's not the problem. The problem is like you have to walk forever. It's a pain in the ass to get in and out of.
Yeah.
It's awful to get in and out of, right? I parked right next to the track and had to walk 2 miles just to get to an entrance.
Did you park at the garage I told you to park at?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. It's convenient because you can get out pretty easily.
Yeah, no, it was very convenient.
Yeah.
But like it was I could see the track
Yeah.
from where we parked.
So
But couldn't get to it.
for reference, he basically, for people that have been there or in the area, where the Hilton Chicago is on Michigan, that's
Right
where he
next to
parked
it.
at, right next to it.
Yeah.
And then you can see the track. You walk right out onto Michigan, the track's right there. But you have to walk all the way up to the museum, which is probably 7 blocks or more
To
before
the
you can get
other
in
side of the
entrance.
track.
Yeah, to the other side of the track. Because they got rid of the south entrance this year. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about it. They changed everything.
Yeah.
As far as like getting in and out, as far as making it there's one section on the south entrance where there's a bridge you can't even get over.
Yeah. Did not realize that. They didn't even put stairs in for that.
No.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? We're just putting stuff up just to have signs. I get it, but like put stairs on it.
Yeah, that one was baffling to me. It definitely felt scaled down this year because they got rid of the big
100%.
hospitality suites that were along pit road there, and they kind of condensed the rest of the VIP areas, which were scattered around the corners last year, to sort of the infield portion of the track, like where the fountain and everything was there. Yeah, it felt downsized a little bit. The food selection this year, while they didn't have any Chicago dogs available, which was a huge disappointment,
Funnel cake though.
they did have funnel cakes. We actually ended up getting churros yesterday
Did
because
you?
every other line was so long. And we were like, we just want a snack because we're getting dinner afterwards. The churro line had nobody in it. Perfect. Walk up, got our drinks, was able to grab churros. They were the best things I've had in a long time. So
I wish I would have got one.
I just couldn't carry a funnel cake down pit road. Like that would have been too much.
It was too hot.
So hot.
She said it right. It was too hot Saturday.
The thought of eating fried dough on Saturday was just it's such a turnoff. Like I didn't want to do anything other than just
awful.
like drink water.
Like, just give me water, give me a hot dog, let's go.
Yeah. The hot dog that it was 18 inches long.
It was awesome though.
It was great.
Good.
But when they handed it over, it's like, oh my, okay, so it costs $18. I understand why it costs $18 now because it's you're paying per inch here, and you're getting half a pig with it. It was crazy.
Yeah, it came out and I was like, so that's why it's $18.
Got it. Could feed a family of 4 with this thing. It was.
Eat the whole thing by myself.
He did. No judgment from our side.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, if it comes back, I'm happy with it. If it doesn't, I'll be bummed, but I'll be excited to see wherever the next street race goes. I have this crazy thought that the TV partners love the street race idea so much because it is a bit of a marquee event.
Oh, that's cool.
They're going to ask, like Fox is going to ask for one, and then one of the other ones is going to ask for one. We're going to end up with 2 on the schedule.
You think we're going to get 2?
I don't think we will, but I think the ask has probably been made.
Here's my question is, what road course could we get rid of and add a street in the same city?
Coda. Yeah. Austin would be fun. I would say Sonoma, like if we want to go across the bay to San Francisco, but like, let's be honest, that's never going to happen.
That would be a shit show.
But
that's like the rumor was when right after the first Chicago, there was rumors that they were trying to go to Brooklyn. That's never going to happen.
No, it's never going to happen. Seattle was another city that keeps being mentioned all the time. I don't think that will ever.
Yeah, I think Austin would be cool.
Austin would be super fun. Coda is an okay track, like for stock cars. Obviously, it's a Grade 1 FIA facility, so it's great for Formula One. Yeah. But in terms of the races that NASCAR's had there. This past year is probably our best one just because it's on the condensed short course. But a street race through Austin would be rather exciting.
Now, I mean, if we did, go over the Golden Gate Bridge, that'd be awesome. Never going to happen.
Never. I don't know if there's a word that's bigger than never, but
I think we have a better chance of driving stock cars on the moon.
Yes. Yeah, that is never happening. On the Golden Gate Bridge. Also, getting to the other side on the north side and then being like, what do we do now?
Where do we go now?
Yeah, are we going to
We're going to do a loop and go back.
It's just like all the way down, hairpin, all the way back.
All the way back. That's the track.
That's the entire
whole track.
I want them to have the machine that like changes the lanes between rush hours that drives down like the zipper thing and then just do that throughout the race. Like, hey, half the race you have 3 lanes going northbound. Half the race you have 3 lanes going southbound now. Just throw a different wrench into the whole thing here.
Wild.
But
let us create the NASCAR schedule.
We would have Ben Kennedy in tears because he would be like, we cannot do this. The lift is too much. Let's make it happen, Ben.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So, okay. We'll see if they return to Chicago next year. If not, like I said, we'll both probably. I'll miss it probably more than you, but I think it was worth a try for sure. It's a proof of concept. It's going to move somewhere else, San Diego or whatever other city. So
I think San Diego would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, if it goes to San Diego, I'm definitely going to go. But it comes down to that 4th of July weekend.
Put it in Atlanta.
Put it in Atlanta. We talked about this. Yeah, that's where it belongs. Drafting track races on the 4th of July. That's what the people want to see. Make it the night race like it was this year and do that and then have this race be a different date.
Yeah, and you get the cool paint schemes with the cars that's what it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to one to go
guess
here.
Who it is though? That's the real question.
Yeah. One to go. I saw about half the race this afternoon on the broadcast. I obviously got back today and watched a portion of it. Was the coverage as bad as people made it out to be on the internet?
Wasn't terrible.
Okay.
I don't think it was terrible.
I saw Eric Estep from Out of the Groove say that it was Fox level of bad at times, which That kind of concerned me.
There was nothing that like stood out to me this time.
So, two things that I kind of picked up on in the half of the race that I've watched on it so far. I don't know what microphones they're using or lack of microphones they're using, but it felt like the ambient noise was muffled or just not very good.
Yeah.
So maybe that was the reason people are upset. Also, and I know you can't control when things happen on the racetrack versus when you go to caution or when you go to commercial, but it's seemingly every time they went to a commercial or side by side, something was happening on the racetrack. And
there was one instance where we were literally under caution and they were in side by side. So there was that, right?
Was that the ambulance caution?
No.
Okay, because I
might have been.
I think it was because I was listening to the race broadcast on my headphones, and they went to commercial and said, "Oh, caution," as they were going to commercial, and then they came back and explained why they went to caution.
Yeah, there was that, but I think there was also another one where there was like debris or something from one of the tires or something like that blew.
Okay.
And I'm not 100% sure. I think there was another one too. So
okay.
there were instances where it wasn't great, but I mean it wasn't. If we're ranking them, I'd put it above Fox.
Okay.
But it's not, for it being the same crew, it's not what Prime was. Which we knew when we were going into it.
Yeah, and I saw the J-Ski breakdown of it, and I think that there was about 48 minutes of commercials during the race between side-by-side and traditional.
Which isn't terrible.
No, it was like 167-minute broadcast, and 48 of it, or 46 of it, somewhere in that range, was in commercial. So that's pretty standard for a race on cable, unfortunately, these days.
And we had a red flag, so there were commercials for the red flag, too.
That, too. Yeah, I forgot that there was, a 20-minute red flag, which we made so many friends down in Turn 1 because nobody had anything to do other than to talk to one another.
Talk to everybody around
Talk to everybody down there. But yeah, I mean, I'll see what TNT is this weekend because obviously I'm not going to Sonoma.
Yeah.
I didn't think Atlanta was that bad. I'll finish watching the rest of this race and see sort of where it stacks out at. Listen, it can't be as bad as Fox. So they don't have cartoons, which means that they're already better than Fox as well.
You and these cartoons. I hate the cartoons. Not like the cartoons.
I hate the cartoons. It just is so childish. It's everything about Fox.
It's bad.
Where everything has to be like a joke or funny, but it's not fun and or funny.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going on a Fox rant. That's going to make people flood my inbox again, being like, "You should really try to be nicer about this." Well,
yeah, you should be nicer, Matt. Be nice.
Not doing it. All right. Moving into a new segment this week called The Burnout. Just kind of a rapid fire recap of random thoughts and questions that we had from the weekend. We'll get started off with who is your driver of the race?
You can go first.
For the Cup race? All right, I'll get started. My driver of the Cup race is going to be none other than Alan Dennis Hamlin. Because if you drive from 40th to 4th at the Chicago Street Race and avoid incident, that is a good day in my book. I really want to give it to McDowell, even though he only did 31 laps. But still, if he finished the race, he probably would have been my driver of the day.
Yep. Mine is Reddick.
Oh, that's a good call.
Mine's Reddick because started up towards the front, fell to the rear, and worked his way back up and was off on a different strategy. And this isn't my move of the race, but when he went into the pits right before that caution came out, that was really smart.
Super smart of them. And that 45 team, great paint scheme on their car this week as well. That Jordan Brand paint scheme.
It was really cool.
Always kill it.
Yeah. Wish it was, red, white, and blue for,
America. But. Yeah, they should do like a Team USA collab for that or something.
You would think. That'd be awesome.
We have to wait for Olympic year, so we'll see in 2028.
No, next year.
Winter Olympics.
Yeah, it's still Olympics.
Yeah, we're not racing during the Winter Olympics, though.
you know,
Daytona. We're just running Team USA.
screw it.
Which I guess it probably would.
It'd be right then.
Yeah,
right
it's going to
after
be
it.
right there. And it's in Italy as well.
Next Summer Olympics is in LA.
Well, that's true. We'll run at the Coliseum. A NASCAR Olympics collab. That would be
Wild.
NASCAR's going to be like, hey, we're doing a street race in Los Angeles. Oh, when are you going to do it? During the Olympics.
During the Olympics.
Great.
That'd be. I mean, we talked about it. It's NASCAR. If it makes sense, we're not doing it.
Gotcha.
So
In Dodger Stadium, or around the parking lot in Dodger Stadium. So we'll do it during the All-Star break.
there we go.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Notable Xfinity driver of the race real quick. I know we didn't talk about this, but I think it's worth mentioning Brennan Poole, top 10 finish in that 44 car.
Yep,
Great
he did.
run. Great run for them.
I know a lot of those guys too that are on that car. So I mean, it's cool to see. I worked on a little bit on the Alpha Prime cars.
Yep.
That's actually an Alpha Prime car
Raja.
right there. That's
Yeah.
Raj's car right there that I worked on. But yeah, no, it's love those guys. Love Tommy. Tommy's awesome. So really happy for them. They do really good things over there with what they got, and yeah,
They do a lot with a little. So,
do.
yeah, shout out to them. Also, Raja at the track on Sunday driving the Chevy EV around.
yeah. I was really confused when I turned the TV on and saw him in his fire suit. I was like, "What's going on?
Yeah.
What are we doing?"
Who was he subbing for now? Brent Cruz was there as well driving the Toyota, and David Reagan was driving the
Oh, Brent drove the Toyota.
Yeah. No. Sorry, I take it back. Brent drove the NASCAR branded one, which was not a Toyota. Yes.
Yeah.
And then
Why
David,
it's not a Toyota makes no sense to me.
Toyota, I don't believe sells a full EV here in the States, so they haven't made a
They
body
don't sell
for
a
it.
V8 either.
That's true, but they don't have a body for one. So,
Like,
a valid point. I walked right into that one.
what are we doing?
And then David Reagan. It was so funny to listen to MRN describe it because they're like up and comers Brent Cruz and Roger Cruz, who hope to race on Sunday, driving around, blah, blah, blah. And then David Reagan, NASCAR veteran, who's raced on Sundays before. And I was like, all right, we're just trying to find things. 2-time Cup Series winner, whatever
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
David Reagan probably should have won a Daytona 500 as well, but lane violation.
Yeah.
Got
What's
him.
your move of the race?
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I got to think here for a second because you kind of took a good one
Oh, my bad.
from me. No, you're fine. You're fine. Honestly, I had to go with multiple moves of the race, which was the rebound of Kyle Busch throughout this race. Because he spun out, he was facing the wrong direction down in turn 12. Cheesesteaks this way, and he was headed that way for a solid couple of seconds there. Great activation by them, but his ability to come back from that was remarkable. Also, Joey Logano getting spun out by Ross Chastain and still getting a P12 finish. Again, I guess it should be called a good rebound of the race for me.
Yeah.
Those two guys. Yes.
Yeah. Mine is Noah Gragson and the big one.
Oh,
Have you
yes.
seen that?
Yep. Yeah.
That was, I watched it live and I was like, oh, the 38 did really good there. And then looked back and it was like, oh, that was Noah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Noah-
But he got really lucky because he was about to plow into somebody.
Changed his fortune, but he did ultimately end up finishing 7 laps down. But
Why you got to ruin it?
well, no, I'm going to build on it because for Noah, he didn't end up in the tire barriers in turn 6. So we're making
Why
progress.
you got to ruin it? Why
I'm
you got
sorry.
to ruin it?
I like Noah a lot too. He's a good guy. But
That's wrong, dude. Come on now. What are we
It is.
doing here?
I'm sorry. I apologize. Cody Ware had a really good race going until.
Jesus.
Listen, it's been a long weekend.
This man's gonna look like Ryan Preece on Sunday, and you're gonna feel bad about
I am going to feel bad, actually. I do hope he's okay, because that was a big time. The picture I saw from the pit area, or like the garage area when they took it back, that was right front wheel is shoved up into the firewall. Like, it's back in there. Scary wreck for him. Give me your hottest
take. Do you feel bad yet?
What's that?
Do you feel bad yet?
Yeah, I do feel bad now. Yes. The more I sit here and linger, I'm starting to feel worse about it. So that's why we're moving on to the hot take from the weekend.
I mean, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but there is a Penske driver. I'm not gonna say who, because I want people to like kind of figure out who they think it is, that works or drives in Xfinity.
Yep.
That you'll never get.
Yeah. Outside of some people in the sport, I don't think they're going to get it.
No. I mean, there'll probably be a couple people in the sport that know it.
Yeah.
But other than that, and he doesn't drive a Ford.
No. I was baffled. Like, I genuinely was like, there's no way. And then talked to some other people and was like, there's a way.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but...
Because when I told you, you were like, no, that's not true.
No.
Not at all.
No.
What?
And it wasn't so much that I was like, it's not true. In my brain, it did not make any sense.
It didn't make sense.
No.
Yeah.
I thought about it you told me that at probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought about it for a solid 6 hours until I finally like talked to other people.
You were like, you texted me, I was almost home.
Yeah.
It was like midnight, you texted me, hey, confirmed, that's true. I went, I know.
Yeah. I had to talk to a second source. That's what we do around here, is we confirm
you gotta
with
have
other
second
sources,
right?
Yeah, it's bizarre. So that's probably the hottest thing to come out of the weekend for me as well. My hot take from the weekend, Ty Gibbs will win before the playoffs start.
Sonoma.
Yes. I would not be shocked to see it happen.
I've been saying it the whole time, that Ty Gibbs is going to win Sonoma.
So everybody wants to rag on Ty. Ty maybe will never win on an oval. I have no idea at this point. But Ty will win on a road course at some point. He's putting himself in contention to win more than he's not at this point. And he's
100%.
incredibly fast. As long as the cautions don't fall in a way that screws the strategy that they're on, he's going to be in contention to win. And that's not even on him. Like, I was unlucky that it happened.
I feel like it's happened every single time past couple races for him, too.
Brutal. And he's got Gabe Hart on the pit box now. That might be the other hot take. Chris Gabehart's actually the crew chief of that car. Sorry to Tyler. Actually, I don't even know what his crew chief's name is now. And it's
Chris Gabehart.
It is, in fact, Chris Gabehart. Shadow Chris Gabehart.
It's a shadow of Chris Gabehart.
They just put a cardboard cutout out there, and they're like, this is Chris Gabehart. Tyler Allen, that's his crew chief.
That's right.
Did you see the Xfinity entry list today when it came out the first time?
No.
It had Dale Jr. listed as the crew chief for the 88 car again.
Still?
Yeah. They messed up. They revised it. Marty Lindley's back on top of the box.
Nope, screw it. Put Junior back on it.
Junior's like, listen, I called a win at the at Pocono. I can do it at a road course now as well. Him trying to call strategy.
Couldn't race him, but I'll call it.
That's what always cracks me up. One rant I have real quick. Whenever some drivers get driver coaches, right? And a lot of times it's just for a confidence level of things.
Yeah.
But say a guy like Max Pappas. He's been a driver coach for a lot of drivers. Good guy, solid guy. But I always find it funny that he's a driver coach for a series that is predominantly ovals. Literally 30 of our 36 races are ovals, and a guy that never came close to winning on an oval. Like, not even once did he ever come close. And now he's out here advising people on how to be better at ovals, which is a lot like us sitting down to critique things, right? Like, you can watch enough video to get good at something. Yeah. But, yeah, I always find that funny.
I mean, might as well, teach SVG how to coach people on ovals.
Imagine SVG just as like the mentor to whoever the next prospect is at Trackhouse, like Tristan McKee, who's been really good in the cars to where he's like 15 years old. Yeah,
Yeah.
SVG is the one that has to go. Oh, he's actually a Spire driver. Never mind. I take it back. Keelan Harvick is technically a Trackhouse driver.
There we go.
He goes and has to
Perfect.
mentor Keelan Harvick. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. I like it.
Yeah. And Keelan's like, bro, I've got more years of oval experience than you do at this point. Like, let me coach you. Just a little 13-year-old on the pit box being like, you got to turn in better. I have no idea what Keelan Harvick sounds like.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year. Next year, SVG gets an oval win.
Super speedway or non-super speedway?
Non.
Ooh, what track?
I'm not going that far.
All right. That's actually fair, but I have to
Michigan.
look now.
I mean, if you want to, don't count that as a super speedway, but
I'm looking through his. I wanted to go through his cup race by track, his cup career by track, and see what tracks he had a top 10 at. You'll never guess this. All of his top 10s have come on road courses. Not once has he finished in the top 10.
really,
Which I knew I should have known that, but I'm looking at his average finish. This is how ridiculous right now he is on road courses. His average finish on every road course is under
2.
no, under, well, Austin is 13th, but I don't count that because there's only one race there so far, but under 7 for everything else. His average finish on ovals, his best is Kansas 20th.
I almost said he was gonna. He'll
Sorry,
win
Michigan.
at Kansas.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is he had never done it until last year in the Xfinity car.
True.
This is only technically his rookie year.
You know what place he kind of low-key runs pretty decent at? Darlington.
I could see it. It's one of those slick tracks.
Yeah. He has an average 23rd finish in his 2 Cup starts there, but I believe in the Xfinity Series he has a top 10.
I'm telling you, I think next year he gets a win outside of a road course.
All right, I'll take it. I mean, I have no reason to doubt this guy because at this point,
No.
this is what he does. Is
Yeah,
he
he's
just
a
gets
winner.
better? Yeah. Whatever changed from basically Coda until now, that team has gotten a lot better. And I don't know because there's no reason he should have finished 13th or whatever it was at Coda. Like his car was much better.
He looked human.
Yeah. And I think part of it was tire deg, but also maybe a new team. I didn't realize that a good portion of that team was an SHR team last year. Mm-hmm. So they were not accustomed to winning per se when they came over. Now they are accustomed to winning. But I think they all finally have gelled together now, which is great for everybody over there. So yeah, that's a hot take. I'll take it.
Do you think they put Zilich in the 99?
Yes.
Or is it another number?
No, it's gonna be 99.
You think it'll be 99?
Yeah, they got a lot of brand. It'll be 99 unless Red Bull wants to be a full-time sponsor and wants to change the number. That's the only thing I can see happen. Which, them being a full-time sponsor, I would not be shocked by because it sounds like they are a pretty good driving force to get him into Cup.
Yeah.
But I feel like the team has too much brand equity in 99. Plus, they have the 1 and the 99. They're kind of bookending the number sequence here. And they can't do
81. Why? I don't know.
18's available.
No, absolutely not.
He grew up a big Bobby Labonte fan. Actually, no. He grew up a big Kyle Busch fan because he's only like 19.
No. The 18 needs to be back at Gibbs.
Yeah, it does.
It needs to be back.
Why they didn't just get rid of the 19 and put Briscoe in the 18? Yeah, I'm baffled by that at times. But whatever. We're on to Sonoma this weekend.
Yep.
We have Cup and Xfinity both in action. The Xfinity race is not at 8 p.m. East Coast time this year.
God.
I believe it is at 5:30 or 4:30.
I think it's 4:30 Eastern.
Okay. Yeah, that's way better because the last few years, just
It's been awful.
4:30. Yeah, they hadn't been starting because it was on FS1, not starting it until 8 o'clock at night, so it wouldn't end until about 10:30 East Coast time, and it's still daylight in California.
Yeah. Screw that.
And the
We
crews have
wouldn't
to wait
get
around all
back.
day.
We
Yeah.
wouldn't get back until
Oh, I
6
didn't think
a.m. the
about
next
that.
morning.
Yeah. I like
It
a
was
red eye
awful.
though. I like a red eye.
No, you don't.
I've never had to
You
pit
just
a race car,
think
so
you do.
I like to just be able to get off the plane and continue on with my day as if it never ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't end.
Bend the space-time continuum.
Yeah, and being 6'5", 280 in a seat, I don't sleep on planes. So
I'm also 6'5". I'm not 280. I'm
no,
about
you're not.
187 the last time I weighed myself.
I was 187 in middle school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were both at least tall freaks in middle school, so there was that going for us. Yes, flying does suck as a tall person. It doesn't matter. Oh, you get Comfort Plus. You can get Premium Select. No, none of it matters. Not even first class lay down pods are great for me because guess what?
I wouldn't know.
My feet still cannot stretch all
Hang
the way
off.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you just say screw it.
Why waste the money? I'm just gonna go sit in the seat then. Like
I'm just gonna go sit in the middle of the back of the plane.
these Hawaii flights are gonna be the end of me, but it's fine. We're gonna move on to Sonoma and SVG once again in the Xfinity race this weekend.
Is he?
Yes, he's driving the 9 car. Corey Day in the 17 this weekend for Hendrick, sending that team all the way out to the West Coast, which I was kind of surprised by.
So messed up.
So far, when they could have just sent him to Chicago, which is half the distance, but
yeah, that makes no sense.
go for it.
Zillich
Zillich is in it. Connor Mozak in the 14, in case anybody wants to take that bet for some unknown reason.
The first one to
how about that lady that laid down on his car this weekend on the grid?
Literally
laid on the car.
laid on the car.
One of the wildest things I've ever seen happen on pit road. The entitlement was astounding.
It was like I was like lost for words.
So was the official that yelled at her, and then she was like befuddled why she's getting yelled at. He turns around to walk away, thinking that he, talked to an adult here and was like,
she
"Hey, don't
sat
do
back
this."
down on it.
And she sat down on it. Like, lady, we got to retech this car because you sat on it. They didn't, but
like, what are we doing?
just dumb. Be smarter, people. If you have hot passes, you're on pit road, don't touch the cars.
Please.
Unless, yes. Actually, I was going to say unless like you're taking a photo with the driver, but still, don't touch the car.
Don't touch the car.
Because guess what? An official is going to be watching, and they're going to have to then talk to the crew and be like, "What'd you guys do?"
Mm-hmm. Don't touch the car.
One other person that isn't going to win the race on Saturday, but I'm happy to see in the race is Will Rogers, Arca West driver, big time road course ace.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes, spotter for Eric Jones, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he'll be driving the 70 car for Cope Family Racing, which is, as we both know, not actually Cope Family Racing.
Cope Family Racing.
Look at an ARCA team that has the same font and connect the dots.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Yes. And then on the Xfinity side, who are you taking the Xfinity race?
Zillich.
Zillich? Okay, I'm going to take SVG again because he won here last year.
So we're turning it over again.
We're just going what we did last week. Cup side of things, no, Kathleen Legg is the only non-charter car in the race.
I'm surprised they're going all the way out there.
I am too, but she's got big time sponsor because they were Elf Cosmetics.
Oh, is it the same?
Yeah, they put a lot of money into it. They had a ton of people out at Chicago as well. Chicago, big time sponsor, guest racetrack. Sponsors love bringing their guests out. Yeah, there was tons of the Napa group on Sunday.
Was it?
They were 50 deep. It was insane. They all weren't on pit road during the race, though. They finally came through and cleared people out that didn't have stickers. But yeah, it was a lot. But who are you taking in the Cup race?
Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I do not. I am actually going to take. It's not really going on a limb, but I'm going to take Kyle Larson to get his season back on track a little bit. No, there's something off there right now.
No, it's not that it's off. I don't think that's where he gets it back on track.
Dover.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a Dover type of race.
He won this race
But-
last year, though, didn't he?
Huh?
He won this race last year, I
I'm
think.
not even gonna lie to you and say I know.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, give me a Michael McDowell top 5.
Yeah, he won last year. McDowell finished second last year, so that's actually probably a great call.
Give me a Ty Gibbs. Give me a Michael McDowell top 5. Give me a SVG top 5. Give me a Chase Elliott top 5.
I was going to say Chase finished fourth last year. Busher finished third. Ross finished fifth last year as well.
Give me Riddick.
Top P8 last year. So, yeah. It should be a good weekend out in wine country. Man, when I look at the list here, like you had Will Brown and Cam Waters both in this race last year. I'm kind of bummed that we're not getting more cars out here.
Yeah.
Ty Gibbs finished 37th last year. So,
Don't tell me that.
I'm sorry. DVP. Because he had an accident down in turn 1.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back next week. We'll see what happens. Cup race on Sunday, 3:30 p.m. on TNT. The alternate broadcast as well on True TV. If you tune in and you have Larry McReynolds and Jeff Burton on your TV, not at the racetrack, you're watching the alternative broadcast. I don't know how many times I see comments, people being like, this race coverage sucked. We weren't even at the track. I'm tired of hearing Jeff Burton. It's like, because you're watching the wrong one. Which
wrong cast.
YouTube TV kind of prompts you to watch that one. So if you're watching there, be aware. It's on TNT, normal booth there. And then on Saturday, Xfinity Series race, 4:30 p.m. on the CW, which I would imagine they're calling remote this week.
You would think.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Trucks are off once again until 2 more weeks. Yeah, Indy IRP. So, follow me on... Oh, good.
Which, did you see Van Eyck is starting his own truck team?
Van Alst.
Or Van Alst, yeah.
Yeah.
For 35?
Dick Van Dyke is out here driving truck steers.
You knew what I meant.
Yeah, he's running four races, I think. 35
so,
Toyota, I believe, is what Bob tweeted out. Yeah, so good for him. I like Greg. Hardworking guy, doing it out of literally the shop at his house, I believe.
Yeah.
Is he a fence guy or a construction guy?
I don't know.
I think he might be
a guy.
Fence guy. He's a guy. He's a guy's guy.
He's a guy's guy.
So follow me on TikTok at Break Hard, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Break Hard Blog. You can follow Cam at... Well, we have 2 versions. You can follow the podcast at Closing Laps on Twitter. We're working on getting the TikTok up as well. And then you can also follow him. Give him your Twitter account.
At _ Full Send Racing.
Yes, once again, the opposit of Break Hard. I'm stopping for the corner. He's full sending it. I'm not going to say what I actually want to say.
I'm going Cody Ware into it.
Yeah, you did it before I could. I felt like I already got on him enough today. All right, we'll be back next week.